Okay, 4:47 on April 23rd. It's about 66 degrees outside, and normally wouldn't be recording anything, but a lot of places are not having an easy week anymore, and we're running into what could be a scab emergency. I'm just going to run through all the locations, and we're going to take a look, and you can, I'll make some recommendations for what I might do in this situation. It's based on what I am pivoting on and doing everything tomorrow in my own forecasting research blocks to try to manage apple scab without Captain and Mancozeb. And these are the kind of things I end up doing. So I'll tell you what I'm doing if it applies to your region. Riverhead, still an easy week. Don't need to worry about it. Going about your business. I'm just going to run through the locations, and for those who have trouble, we'll talk about it. Okay, this is what I'm running into with the rest of New York. Hudson Valley. Oh, everything was going to look great. It's going to be an easy week. No, it's not an easy week. You've got a big 14 coming up on Saturday, blasting out there. And when I look at some of the predicted rainfall inches on the weather apps, I'm seeing about a good bit of almost an inch of wash off predicted. So if you are going into next week and you don't have a lot of coverage, you might want to put something on tomorrow. If you got good coverage on the 24th going into Saturday or leading up to this time, because it was pretty easy and you have good coverage, you could probably weather this the 25th event, but it's all going to be washed off, if you will, by the time you hit the next 20% ejection on Tuesday. So you can probably weather this one, but if you can, slip in here on the 27th, and that's where I would recommend dropping something like Dodine Sillet. This is the perfect opportunity. You come in and you manage all this with whatever cover spray you had going into the week before, and then you come slide right in there and grab a little bit of Dodine Magic Reach Back and protect forward onto the big nasty that's coming up on the 28th. And I'm going to check the rest of the locations in New York, and we'll run through New England, see what they have in this case. Capital District kind of dodges this, but they're having a 12% coming up on Saturday. So if you haven't covered in a while, like, oh, wait till the week. This is the part where you look at the forecast at the end of the week and come at it here with a reasonable protectant. It's not a big inch of rain. Usually it's about somewhere between 30.35 and a half an inch, but if it's accumulated, it could wash everything off. Probably do a protection if you were in Voorheesville. And you're like, wait a minute, it's a big ejection event, but there's no infection event. Why? Because it's too cold for infection. However, apple scab is an organism, not a computer. And so if things are on the fence, this number here from no could turn to yes pretty quickly. So when I see 12% of my ascospores flying into the air, I don't trust the computer. I trust my panicking gut, and I would probably, if I haven't covered in a while, I would protect against that nasty event. I'm going to pop up the Chasey. They're probably fine. We're just going to run through these very quickly. Chasey's like, whatever. I barely got green tip. We don't have anything. It's colder than sin up in that area, probably on the 25th, 5th, and 7th. So don't worry about it. Chasey. Finger Lakes looks pretty bad. Last time I looked at it, looked like a pretty big one. This is what I was going for in my case. A 14 plus a 9, and then another 15. And in the Geneva area, it's all 20. So this is like a massive event. We're approaching that 76%, 85 there. It's going to get real. And in my case, I haven't sprayed that this week, so I was going to put something on there. And then if it all washes off with an inch and a half rain, I would come back here. Other parts of my plots have something on, done on the 21st, and we're just going to weather that, and then we're going to come back hard with our single site Dodine type material right there and grab all of that and go forward. And that's the situation here. If I look around in the Western New York area, and we're going to see a little bit of this. Check out DeMurray's farm. Yeah, they got the same nasty thing happening as well. If you sprayed already on the 20th, then you probably can weather this first round of protection, and then I would slide right back in on the 27th, and or somewhere here you got a little inch of rain, even if it is cold, and grab, kick back, protect forward in this particular situation. Doesn't look so bad up in that area. I'm going to look Niagara and Niagara. Oh, no, don't do that. I'll do Appleton. That's my place. Doesn't find it. Let's do Appleton North. Let's check it out. And they're not so bad there. I would definitely say if you have already put on a spray, you could weather this 7% there because it is going to get cold. It's still a combined infection event. See, it's sort of hitting at 45 and 41, and that's why Lake Champlain area isn't going to have to worry about this at all because it's already starting at 42 and probably dropping to 30. They have more to worry about from freezes than anything else, but they might not have suffered these 70 and 80 degree days that the rest of the state has. So Niagara, you're fine, and you could probably weather this. And then if you're going to spray at the beginning of next week, go on that 27th. I'll make another video on Sunday to see what it looks like. But if you felt like you needed to take action tomorrow, like myself, now's your chance to do it. All right, all you New York folks can just quit watching the video, and I'm going to go and talk about Connecticut and see what they're looking like. I hope it's a much better situation. Yep, they're going to come into a big ejection event. 14 plus 5, it's a 20. It puts it over the discharge threshold of red when you consider the whole event spans 2 days. The computer is calculating them separately, but the real world, your tree is getting hit by about 20%. That's a big event. If you haven't covered in a while, put on a new level of protective material. Don't waste all your group 3, 7, and 11s and 52s yet. I'd say hold off on that. If you feel like you need something with a little more oomph, this is where you drop your Sillet and on that for your Dodine, because we're still before petal fall and you got it. I'm going to go check the rest of the sites pretty quickly. And the New England area, check out stores, see how they're doing. They got a whole mess of stuff too. Same situation. You're not getting that big blast yet on the 28th that New York was seeing, but you do have a nice 17 coming in there. If you felt like your protection got washed off, even if it's cold, recover. And if you have put it on fairly recently, then just weather this infection event and wait for the next one. All right, I'm going to go check out Massachusetts. Try to type these things effectively. South, I don't know which one to pick. I pick south or north. It's hard to say. No, I'll pick the right one. They're looking fine. It's probably going to drop too cold. You're not getting the big ejection event on the 27th. You can just walk away and think about, come back next Sunday when I do the next one and see what you think. Let's take the other Belcherton out. What do they got? Same scenario. Nothing to really stress about in this case. You can walk away. I want to try the rest of the same thing. You're not getting the big, massive infection event that New York is getting on the 27th. You're great. You're looking great. I'm going to check Sansfield and see what they look like. We're just going to run through these real quick. Not too much there. It looks like you're getting that something on the 28th is starting to come up. 40 degrees, 9 hours leaf wetness. Not enough. Not a lot of ejection. You're going to be able to be fine in that area. I'm starting to think Massachusetts is going to escape this thing. We're going to check it out. Yep, nothing to really worry about. Yep, you're starting to get some more leaf wetness there. I'd say check back in on Sunday when I do the other protection. Other predictions. I'm going to pop up Richmond. Yeah. Massachusetts. Anything from them? No. I mean, you're starting to see that little bit, about a 10% total on the 25th. If you really look like it doesn't look like it's going to be a lot of water. It's not really telling you much about it. We're also running into, this error I like to find. I found in NUA. It's putting the day at the 24th, which means it's not actually predicting for Thursday. When I've done this, I've seen trouble happen in some of the New York sites. The way I found a way around it is to come back up to crop forecasts, go to fire blight, oddly enough, and now it's back on the 23. It's a different model, and then sometimes if I come back to apple scab, it will correct itself, and it's back on the 23. But in this case, what it was doing for the New York sites was showing me the real terror of what was coming later, and it looks like in Massachusetts, all right. Let's go look so. I don't like that 24 day. If it's not showing the right day, don't necessarily trust the calculations. Well, it looks really great there. They're having an easy time. It must be very cold, I would imagine, and not a lot of rain. All right, let's check out South Deerfield. And I'm not so worried about New Hampshire and Maine, but we're going to look them anyway. They have this particular area, not a lot of ejection is happening. You're getting pretty high maturity. Must just not be a lot of daytime rain for these types of things to happen. Ejection doesn't happen at night, so you're escaping that. No need to panic in Massachusetts. I'm going to just quickly run through New Hampshire, Maine, and Wisconsin real quick. Let me see what's Hollis looking like today. these things can sneak up on you. No, you're not running into the problem. You're looking like it's pretty good. You're coming off of a big one. We'll check back with us on Sunday and see how it looks there. I wouldn't really react to any of this stuff. Brentwood, this might be more of a New York issue. Wow, you're really cool up in Brentwood. Not a lot of maturity, not a lot of rain. You're probably just I'm trying to survive the freeze event that's hit the whole area. Who cares about apple scab if all the crop is dead? No, you don't want your like poor return bloom and to have it go outrageously out of control, but you don't have to worry. I think New Hampshire is probably going to be fine, and I am betting Maine will as well. I want to check a couple more. You're looking good. You're not seeing the same trouble that New York is having. Oh, I need to go Apple Hill. Let's check Apple Hill. Oh, let's see that one. It's fine. You're looking good. Keep going about your business, cutting buds and looking for winter injury. Plainfield, New Hampshire. You're okay. I'm going to run through Maine real quick. I bet everyone in Maine is happy. Yeah, I ain't got nothing to worry about. Nothing magic is happening in Maine or New Hampshire over the weekend. No, Augusta, Maine. Let's check the airport there. You're fine. You're looking good. Milton, New Hampshire. 4 Maine growers. It's pretty close. You're starting to get that blip on the next Tuesday or whatever, but it doesn't look like it's going to be an issue. Apple scab maturity is going really slow up there in Maine. And then we'll do Lewiston. Another nice area to go visit. Not too long ago. It's a great place. Looking fine. You're safe. Don't panic. You don't. But you could, if you watch the first part of the video, you're gonna be like, "Oh God, New York is really getting it," and they are. And then sometimes we're gonna do Wisconsin because they're a grab bag of trouble. They have all kinds of situations there. I would say it seems like one of the more challenging places to manage apple scab because one part of the state has got nothing and barely green tip, and the other part is practically into fire blight. And I don't think you have to worry about fire blight. It's cold, but it's wet, and that's why we're worried about scab only. Wisconsin. Let's see how we're doing. All right, now this is what we got. This is bad news bears. You're coming in. Geez, it's already in the middle of it now. Goodness gracious. All right, you're in the wedding event now. Once you've weathered this in Wisconsin, you need to come in and like get the hammer. This is where I would definitely do the Dodine Sillet. You get at least 2 to 3 applications before paddle fall. Check the label first. Don't rely on my poor failing memory to figure this out. But I know you at least get 2 before paddle fall. If you're not there, this is where I do it. I would come in after this big nasty event of 23, drop that Sillet, clean up whatever's creeped through, and protect against all that awful stuff right there. So while New York is getting hammered Saturday, you're just coming out of the hammer and moving into that early problem in Wisconsin. And that's why I wanted to get the video out for all the folks everywhere. It's different all over. And then, yeah, it's not much better for Gaze Mills. It's in pretty bad shape coming off of one now, and you're going to come in. It's only 8%. You could probably just recover your current fungicide, but you're already getting about 3/4 of an inch of rain. If you wanted to use the Dodine Sillet, you could. Just grabs that, pushes that forward. You're really hot in that area. It's very strange. Think of Wisconsin. I don't really think of like, North Carolina weather. But that area, it's really got it. Well, same sort of thing. Less ejection because the maturity isn't that high. Remember, 2% of a billions and trillions of spores is still a lot. So be careful when you're getting a lot of rain. You could do the same thing. You could do the Sillet. You could just recover because you're not getting that much rain, but you're getting some. But it's not great when I finish up with Rochester and a couple of other places. It's really bad. You're coming off of a big one. And then this is where I would use Sillet because you'll grab a little bit of that 21% with your Dodine right there. And then you'll just like have a nice level of protective residue moving right into that 27, 28. You got a considerable amount in that area. I definitely would do it. Let's try this place right there. Same scenario as some of the other more warm areas. You got a lot of ejection. I would Sillet this, come back in there, clean that up, move that forward. You can use your single sites. Many of them will do the job. I'm just trying to get you to save them for cedar apple rust, powdery mildew, and all the other nonsense that comes on later. So it's a great option for this time of the year. If you don't have it, you can use 7-Eleven or 52 Axios. But it's a good option if you have it. If you don't have it this year, buy some to keep around for next year. All right, let's see. I want to do Rona. Let's try this one. Same scenario. Big event now. Slight break in it, and it's coming right back with the coup de grace. And then this is where you coup de grace it with your give it that finishing blow. Let it come. It's trying to weather your pesticide away. You're gonna block all that with your fungicide. Come back in with something with a little bit of reach back. You're not letting a whole population build up and then going back after it. You protected ahead, and now you just want to clean up a little bit and then recover with that Sillet, which gives you a little bit of reach back curative activity and will prepare you to weather the big 22%. I think the label for Sillet tells you got to put it with Captan or Mancozeb or a protectant anyway. So you're going to be in good shape for coverage and catching any resistance management. The label has some built-in resistance management for it. All right, that's all for now. I'm going to let you panic spray like tomorrow. I'm going to go teach and come back and panic spray. Or I think my crew might be panic spraying while I'm teaching. All right, have a great day and good luck. I'll see you on Sunday.